Welcome to this edition of the Native News Update. I'm your host for today's program, Paul Demain. Many of the stories right here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com. Here is the news stories for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. A Rosebud Sioux tribal councilman has pled not guilty to sex charges. Prosecutors accuse 49-year-old Michael Valandra of trying to solicit a minor via a computer in a police sting operation. He's charged with attempted sexual contact and soliciting a minor. The tribal council suspended Valandra without pay after his arrest. He remains out of jail on bond and is due back in court on July 17th. He could face up to 11 years in prison if convicted. A second defendant indicted following an investigation into the theft and illegal trafficking of Indian artifacts from the Four Corners area has been found dead in an apparent suicide, the FBI said late last week. Stephen Schrader, 56, of Santa Fe, New Mexico, was found dead in Shabona, Illinois, on June 19th, the same day he was scheduled to appear in federal court in Salt Lake City, Utah. The DeKalb County Sheriff's Office said it received a call about a despondent person at a relative's home late Thursday night. Before deputies arrived, the man reportedly left the house on foot, the sheriff's office said in a statement. Schrader's body was found behind an elementary school about 2.5 hours later. The sheriff's office said he died of 2 self-inflicted gunshot wounds. The remains of a 700-year-old Indian village are slowly beginning to emerge from the ground near Dixon Mounds, Illinois. The ongoing archaeological dig is revealing tools, pottery, and even the living quarters, and the public is invited to see the artifacts firsthand. Students from the Michigan State University are spending 6 weeks digging at the Nature Conservancy, located on land at the north end of the Conservancy's Amiquan Preserve, about 2 miles northeast of the Dixon Mounds Museum. The efforts have turned up shards of pottery, arrowheads, and the foundations of houses and other structures that date back to about 1300. Arizona State Museum announces the opening of a new temporary exhibit, Our Fathers, Our Grandfathers, Our Heroes, all about the Navajo code talkers of World War II. That exhibit opens July 17th through August 15th at the museum. The exhibit traces the story of and is a tribute to the famed United States Marine Corps code talkers. The exhibit will feature more than 30 historic photographs, facsimiles of original military World War II documents, a 1940s map of the Navajo Reservation, a full-length documentary, Navajo Code Talkers, produced by the History Channel, and the now declassified Navajo Code itself. On June 23rd, Senator Tim Johnson of South Dakota introduced the Public and Indian Housing Crime and Drug Elimination Program Reauthorization Act of 2009. It provides much-needed resources for activities to combat crime and drugs in Native communities. The act will reauthorize drug elimination programs under the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Originally part of the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1988, program funds can be used for security personnel, youth sports activities, employing crime investigators, training and equipping voluntary tenant patrols, and funding residential organizations to develop security and drug abuse prevention programs. The program has not been refunded since the year 2001. Montana wildlife officials are again seeking a home for about 50 bison from Yellowstone National Park that have been under quarantine for the last several years. The bison have been kept in a federal compound near Corwin Springs, Montana, to make sure they are free of brucellosis, a disease feared by the livestock industry because it causes pregnant cattle to miscarry. If no home for the bison is found, they could be slaughtered. Montana officials say tribes, public land agencies, and private organizations interested in taking the bison must submit formal proposals by August 10th. Earlier plans to transfer the animals to the northern Arapaho in Wyoming collapsed after tribal members voted to keep the animals out. Call it a White House meeting of brothers. The chairman of the Crow tribe, Cedric Black Eagle, met President Obama in the Oval Office recently, a year after Obama became part of the Crow's Whistling Water Clan through a tribal adoption. Black Eagle said that when he was at the White House this month. He told Obama, "It's good to see you, brother." The opportunity to meet with the president while in Washington, D.C. to discuss energy policy was unexpected, Black Eagle said. Discussion topics during an Oval Office meeting of 10 minutes or so included health care on the Crow Reservation in Montana. "And he asked me about my mom and dad and how they were," Black Eagle said, "and it was personal. I think he respects the personal idea of being adopted into a tribe and an Indian family." During a Montana campaign swing in May of 2008, Obama visited Crow Agency and was adopted by Black Eagle's parents, Sonny and Mary. The Wellbriety Journey for Forgiveness has arrived in Washington, D.C. on its final visit of its 40-day, 6,800-mile trek for Native American healing of abuses at historic U.S. Indian boarding schools. A day-long program events took place June 24th at the Smithsonian's National Museum of the American Indian on the National Mall. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to thank our underwriters for helping us with this broadcast and you for joining with us again. You have a great day. Miigwech.